Before he gave the vision, he already made provisions because he knew you guys would wind up together. Even before you were formed in your mother's womb, he knew you. I'm thankful. Oh, come here, Anthony. Anthony.
Hey there, it's Maud Garrett, and welcome to another exciting episode of RT Essentials. Today, we're highlighting the trailblazing titles that have given a voice to the LGBTQ+ community and done so much with style and passion. For many years, it was difficult to find shows that properly represented this community, and though some series might have featured gay characters, they were often in supporting roles or guest spots. But over the past 2 decades, a window has opened, and more LGBTQ+ characters, settings, and situations are being portrayed in the mainstream. So let's take a closer look at the groundbreaking series that have moved the needle of representation forward, building a more colourful and inclusive future in entertainment. These are our selections for the greatest LGBTQ+ shows ever. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Your toothbrush. It was in here with the toilet scrubber.
Well, I don't. That toothbrush was for the garbage.
This is the pre-garbage basket.
Sometimes.
It's kind of like the trash can on a computer. You can check it before you delete it.
Yeah, you download it, then you look at it, and then afterwards you throw it away.
Flying in first is Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, a reality TV series created by David Collins and Michael Williams. The show originally premiered on Bravo and ran for 5 fabulous seasons, 100 episodes. Speaking of fabulous, if you're familiar with this show, then I'm sure you've heard of the Fab Five, aka the show's stylish stars who quickly rose to prominence and won the hearts and eyes of America. There was Ted Allen, an expert on food and alcohol, Kyan Douglas, aka the grooming guru, Tom Felicia, the design doctor, Carson Kressley, who could make almost anyone look like a GQ model, and Jai Rodriguez, nicknamed the Culture Vulture, who specialised in pop culture and relationships. They were basically the Avengers of makeovers.
It's got a lot of things that are right and a lot of things that are wrong, and all the wrong things block the right things.
Dear Lord, please make these windows go away.
Please, Lord.
Where'd you get this?
Kmart.
Someone don't use that kind of language around me.
The show used a simple yet infectious format. An episode would typically begin with our Fab Five riding in an SUV through New York City and discussing their latest client. Then, as the title of the show delineates, the 5 men would use their specific set of skills to improve the life of said client by revamping wardrobes, offering romantic advice and grooming tips, improving diets, and redecorating home interiors. The lucky client would get a full makeover, and each episode would document that journey from start to finish. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy was a massive hit, winning the Emmy for Outstanding Reality Program in 2004, and spawning a woman-oriented spin-off entitled Queer Eyes for the Straight Girl, which also aired on Bravo. Though this version of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy aired its last episode in 2007, Netflix would reboot the series almost 10 years later. Queer Eye.
I've gotten a lot of attitude for putting Greek yogurt in my guacamole.
It's the best thing.
You heard it here. It is not crazy to put dairy in guacamole. It's creamy.
And keep them green all the time.
Boom, mic drop.
Which brings us to Queer Eye, created by David Collins and premiering in February of 2018. For this reboot, producers knew the stars had to live up to the legacy of the original Fab Five. Otherwise, superfans were gonna lose it. Fortunately, they managed to assemble the perfect team of life experts who, much like their predecessors, quickly became international sensations. There's Anthony Porowski for all things food and wine, Bobby Burke for home design, Jonathan Van Ness on grooming duties, Karamo Brown offering culture and lifestyle guidance, and Tan France, an expert on clothing, fashion, and personal style.
I basically just accepted that the real world sucks and family doesn't exist, unconditional love doesn't exist. You all just show me that. It's beautiful and sexy to care for yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's cute and confident to just be Black and be gay and be a woman, and what that is me, and I'm always that.
Yes.
Audiences embraced their new Fab Five, and the reboot series quickly became a hit. The format stayed mostly true to the original, only instead of primarily shooting in the New York area, Queer Eye shot its first 2 seasons in Atlanta, then moved to Kansas for season 3 and 4, Philadelphia for season 5, and Austin for season 6. These changing settings allowed for more variety, not only in landscape, but in subjects. In fact, part of what made this show so successful is its emphasis on diversity, strongly representing the LGBT community and communities that include people of colour. In episode 5 of season 2, entitled Sky's the Limit, the Fab Five meet Skylar, a trans man recovering from surgery, who shares his emotional journey with the world. It is an absolute tearjerker and an awe-inspiring story that added an unrivaled depth to Queer Eye and pushed the boundaries in the reality TV realm. It's no surprise that this show has won the Emmy for Outstanding Structured Reality Program 4 years in a row. And it's still going strong, with season 6 having premiered in December of 2021 and a season 7 in the works. RuPaul's Drag Race.
What's going on?
There's nothing there.
Michelle, did you pay the light bill?
What?
Wait, I knew it.
You want me to do it? I'll do it.
Yeah, Michelle, get on up there.
I'll do it.
Oh, y'all wanted a twist, eh?
Oh.
Come on, all-star 6. Let's get sickening. Oh.
RuPaul's Drag Race is a reality competition series that first premiered on Logo TV in 2009. It stars RuPaul, the mega talent who plays host, acts as a mentor, is the head judge, and also created the theme music. If you're unfamiliar with the show, it probably means you've been living under a rock or exiled in some remote island for over a decade. Lucky thing. Because RuPaul's Drag Race is a monolith in the world of reality TV, spanning 14 seasons and inspiring the spin-offs RuPaul's Drag U, RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked, RuPaul's Secret Celebrity Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race UK, and RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. It's the highest rated television program on Logo TV and has earned RuPaul 6 consecutive Emmys for Outstanding Host for a reality competition program. Additionally, the show itself won the Emmy for Outstanding Reality Competition Program 4 years in a row. I can keep going, but I think you kind of get the point here. There's never been, or probably won't ever be, a show like this one. For each episode, RuPaul and a panel of judges critique contestants' performances in various challenges, such as an acting challenge, an improvisation challenge, a photoshoot challenge, a runway challenge, a singing challenge, a stand-up challenge, and many, many others. After deliberating, the judges announce that week's winner, and the bottom 2 queens must compete in a lip-sync challenge, the loser of which is eliminated. Critics have called RuPaul's Drag Race the biggest, brightest, and most sashaying reality series ever, and said it's over the top and a lot of fun. But in addition to the show being wildly entertaining, it also focuses on the real hard work that goes into drag performing, an underrepresented art form. Will and Grace.
I don't care what either of you say. I am not a prude.
Oh, honey, come on. Come on. I love you like the mother I had committed against her will. But you are Prudence McPrude, the mayoress of Prudy Town.
Max Muchnick and David Cohen co-created the hit sitcom Will and Grace, which originally premiered on NBC in September of 1998. Set in New York City, it follows the relationship between Grace Adler, an interior designer, and her best friend Will Truman, a successful gay lawyer. The two have been best friends since college and remain roommates, despite frequent bouts that paint them more like a married couple than best friends. The show touches on issues of dating, marriage, divorce, and casual flings, and playfully challenges stereotypes of gay and Jewish culture. Eric McCormack and Deborah Messing starred in the leading roles, with Megan Mullally and Sean Hayes co-starring. Each of these actors won multiple awards for their portrayals and became household names as the show's popularity increased. McCormack won the Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in 2001, Messing won for Outstanding Lead Actress in 2003, Mullally won for Outstanding Supporting Actress twice, and Hayes won for Outstanding Supporting Actor in 2000. And with so much talent packed into its 22-minute episodes, Will and Grace quickly became one of the most successful television series ever.
Come on, Kara, it's our turn. Kara.
Is she asleep?
Wait, it could be a trap. A smaller Karen might shoot out of her mouth and bite your face off.
Naturally, audiences were pretty upset when the show aired its final episode in May of 2006, after an impressive 8-season run. And then that would be all we'd ever hear of Will and Grace again. Ha, just kidding. The series was revived in 2017, with Sean Hayes serving as executive producer, along with Muchnick and Cohen. 3 new seasons aired on NBC, with the hilarious cast reprising their roles and picking up right where the show had left off 11 years prior. The revival was met with mostly positive reviews and actually did the original series justice, which we know isn't always the case with a reboot. Will and Grace has been credited with helping to educate the American public on LGBT issues and remains one of the most successful television series to ever feature gay principal characters. Euphoria.
You thought I was auditioning for Oklahoma.
I haven't read it, so...
Are you making fun of me, or did you actually think I was auditioning for Oklahoma?
Why the f would you audition for Oklahoma?
I'm not!
Then why the f do you look like you're auditioning for Oklahoma?
Do I?
Yes. Has everyone read Oklahoma but me?
Sam Levinson's Euphoria is a drama series that premiered on HBO in June of 2019. It follows Rue Bennett and several other high school students as they struggle with drug addiction, identity issues, trauma, and friend and family drama. Levinson based the show on the Israeli miniseries of the same name and weaved in his own experiences as a teenager, creating something that feels raw and honest at every turn. Critics have called Euphoria groundbreaking, partially because of how it represents the modern LGBTQ experience. The show takes its time to highlight character complexities, instead of just recycling the typical tropes associated with underrepresented communities. Transgender character Jules Vaughn, played by Hunter Schafer, often engages in self-destructive behaviour, and we get glimpses of her traumatic life pre-transition. Rue, played by Zendaya, rejects gender expectations when it comes to style, which many fans of the show identify with. The Guardian wrote that Zendaya is reinvented as the self-destructive, self-loathing Rue in what is a truly astonishing, mesmerising performance, upending every expectation of what she could do. And that performance has contributed to the show's rapid success and earned Zendaya an Emmy and a Satellite Award for Best Actress. Pose.
What's the name of your house, baby?
Inspired by the up-and-coming legendary supermodel Linda Evangelista, who stole my look and who I pay tribute to in return, we are the House of Evangelista.
Ryan Murphy, Brad Falchuk, and Stephen Canals co-created the drama Pose, which premiered on FX in June of 2018. It spotlights the house mothers of New York's underground ball culture, a movement that gained notoriety in the 1980s. Michaela J. Rodriguez plays Blanca, a trans woman with HIV who becomes the founder and mother of the House of Evangelista. In this series, houses are self-selected families that provide support to LGBTQ youth who have been rejected by their birth families. Pose made television history by featuring the largest cast of transgender actors in series regular roles, as well as the largest recurring cast of LGBTQ actors ever for a scripted series. It portrays the experiences and struggles of being a queer and/or trans person of colour and has inspired empathy and understanding across viewing demographics.
God made you in His image. Everything else is a choice.
You think it was a choice for me to be called and beat every day of my childhood? You think it was a choice for me to lose every man I've ever loved? Sometimes I think I wouldn't even have this disease if it wasn't for the church and how y'all treated me.
Producers wanted to do more than just tell a story about this community. They wanted to reach out and actually help this community. So prior to the series premiere, it was announced that profits from the show would be donated to charitable organisations that worked with LGBTQ+ people, including the Transgender Legal Defence and Education Fund, the Sylvia Rivera Law Project, and the Callan Lord Community Health Centre. Pose ran for 3 seasons, 26 episodes, and was met with an overwhelmingly positive reception. Billy Porter, who starred as Pray Tell, became the first openly gay black man to be nominated for and win an Emmy in a lead acting category. Additionally, Rodriguez became the first trans lead ever nominated for the Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series Emmy. Pose paved the way for better representation in television, both behind and in front of the camera. Angels in America.
This is the game of being alive. And you think you're what? You think you're above that? Above alive is what? Dead in the clouds. You're on Earth, God. Plant a foot, stay a while. I'm sick. They smell I'm weak. They want blood this time.
Angels in America was an HBO miniseries directed by Mike Nichols and based on the 1991 Pulitzer Prize-winning play of the same name, written by Tony Kushner. Set in 1985, it follows several New Yorkers whose lives have been deeply affected by the AIDS epidemic, including Prior Walter, a gay man who, after being diagnosed and falling ill with AIDS, is visited by an angel. The show featured a powerhouse cast that included Al Pacino, Meryl Streep, Patrick Wilson, and many others. Aside from portraying the struggles of an underrepresented community, the show touched on the broader themes of religion, politics, truth, love, reconciliation, and justice.
The white cracker who wrote the national anthem knew what he was doing. He set the word free to a note so high nobody could reach it. That was deliberate. Nothing on earth sounds less like freedom to me. You come with me to room 1013 over at the hospital, Lewis. I'll show you America. Terminal, crazy, and mean. I live in America, Lewis. I don't have to love it. You do that. Everybody's got to love something.
Broken up into 6 one-hour episodes, it became the most watched made-for-cable film in 2003 and was met with unanimous praise. Angels in America also became only the 3rd series in Emmy history to sweep every major eligible category and broke the record for the most Emmys awarded to a miniseries in a single year, winning 11 out of 21 nominations. The Washington Post called it one of the most dazzling movies ever made for television, and Empire magazine wrote that it's a poetic, compassionate, and ultimately hopeful work about the human condition at the turn of the millennium. It's a beautiful blend of fantasy and reality. Queer as Folk.
You don't really want this. I don't? Drive it. I mean, I don't know what it is, but they're attracted to it like flies. Nice couple like you. You want to be in something like that. I appreciate the warning, but I'm curious. You think I could take one for a test drive? And then I'll try one of the straighter models. Great idea.
Ron Cohen and Daniel Lipman wrote and developed the serial drama Queer as Folk, which was based on the British series of the same name created by Russell T Davies. It originally premiered on Showtime in December of 2000 and ran for 5 seasons, 83 episodes. Set in working-class Pittsburgh, it revolves around a group of gay friends and their relationships, careers, and ambitions. Though the show was initially marketed towards gay male audiences, it ended up gaining a sizable heterosexual following and became the #1 series on the Showtime roster at the time.
Groups.
I thought you did.
Occasionally. But it's by invitation only.
Many considered the show to be groundbreaking, especially the pilot, which depicted the first sex scene between 2 men ever shown on American television. This was a cultural milestone, unrivaled by any series on any network at the time. It's no wonder that Showtime adopted the slogan, "No Limits," just before the show's release. Queer as Folk went further than any series had gone before, exploring storylines that involved sexually transmitted diseases, open relationships, sexual identity, and gay culture. Orange is the New Black.
Maybe this is exactly where I am supposed to be right now. Maybe this, right now, is making me a better person. I'm learning more Spanish, and I can fix things. I'm a part of a community, and I have a girlfriend. I have a girlfriend that I love.
Orange is the New Black was created by Jenji Cohen, who had risen to prominence after the success of her series, Weeds. Cohen had read Piper Kerman's memoir, Orange is the New Black, My Year in a Women's Prison, and immediately wanted to adapt it into a show. After Kerman signed off on Cohen's pitch, the show was greenlit by Netflix for a 13-episode run, which premiered in July of 2013. Katie Holmes was originally considered for the leading role of Piper, but had other commitments, so the network cast Taylor Schilling, with Jason Biggs playing her fiancé, Larry Bloom. In the series, Piper is convicted of transporting a suitcase filled with drug money and gets sentenced to 15 months in Litchfield Penitentiary, a minimum security women's prison located in upstate New York.
Missing half of my zucchini. These girls don't realize I'm here to provide food, not dildos. I'm all out of cucumbers, carrots, beets. God knows what they're doing with those. Can't hang on to anything shaped. Sorry. Too soon?
Her career, love, and family life are severely disrupted, and she's forced to trade in her power suits for prison orange. As Piper adjusts to life behind bars, she befriends many eccentric and unusual characters. But more importantly, she re-examines her feelings for fellow inmate and ex-girlfriend Alex Voss, played by Laura Prepon. The show offered some of the most nuanced and character-driven portrayals of queer and transgender women ever seen on television. One of the best examples is transgender inmate Sophia Bursett, played by Laverne Cox, who is multi-layered and grapples with the possibility of losing her gender identity. We learn of Sophia's strained relationship with her wife and son, and her complicated journey to get the body she deserves. Orange is the New Black became the most watched and longest-running original series on Netflix, and in its first season was nominated for 12 Emmys, winning 3. It's also the first series to earn Emmy nominations in both the comedy and drama categories. The show ran for 7 seasons, 91 episodes, and received universal acclaim. The L Word.
Okay, we tried to call, but no one answered.
So the logical conclusion was just to come over?
No, it's an emergency. Started as a gaydar thing. Shane and I are totally capable of handling that, but this one has major relationship stuff.
Yeah, and I think at this point she needs expert advice.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry.
In January of 2004, The L Word premiered on Showtime, making history by featuring the first ensemble cast of lesbian and bisexual female characters. It followed the lives and loves of a group of Los Angeles residents who date, get into committed relationships, hook up, break up, and sometimes question their sexuality. The show contained graphic lesbian sex scenes from the female gaze, at a time when such a thing was non-existent on television. Eileen Chaikin served as a co-creator, writer, and director, taking inspiration from her own life. Chaikin's first romance with another woman ended in heartbreak, but she based the relationship of the show's characters, Marina and Jenny, on this experience.
You're okay, right?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I hope I didn't upset you the other night.
No. You didn't upset me. I just, I came here to say that I'm not
a big coffee drinker?
The ensemble cast included Jennifer Beals, Mia Kirshner, Pam Grier, and many others. Though critical reception was somewhat mixed, most agreed that the show helped to fill an existing void in entertainment, giving lesbian characters a spotlight and complexity that hadn't been seen prior. As Entertainment Weekly pointed out, Chaikin was doing something new in offering as wide a variety of gay women as her assiduously upscale setting would allow. The L Word ran for 6 seasons, 70 episodes, and led to the spin-off reality show The Real L Word, which premiered in 2010, also on Showtime. The sequel series, entitled The L Word Generation Q, debuted in December of 2019, with Jennifer Beals reprising her role as Bette Porter. Feel good.
Do you, when you think of me in your head, do you think of me like a boy or a girl, would you say?
Just you, really.
Yeah.
More importantly, how do you see you?
Yeah, just me, really, I think.
Yeah.
But then that feels like not really a thing, or I don't know what that means. Or...
I think that is a thing. That's non-binary, May. I do think maybe you should Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last but certainly not least is the British dramedy Feel Good, written and created by Mae Martin and Joe Hampson. The show originally premiered on Channel 4 in March 2020, with Netflix handling international distribution. In a somewhat autobiographical role, Mae Martin plays a recovering addict and comic who tries to rein in the intense romanticism and bad behaviours dictating their life. Those efforts are complicated by an all-consuming relationship with a new girlfriend named George, played by Charlotte Ritchie. The show is light-hearted and funny, but simultaneously deals with heavy themes, such as gender dysphoria, gender identity, sexual fluidity, sexual abuse, sexual orientation, abandonment, fame, repression, and trauma.
I want to be with you forever. And... oh my God. So, George, that's why I'm asking.
May, please, can you get up? Get up. Get up. Please get up.
If you would do me the absolute honor of actually marrying me.
What's my middle name?
Big Balthazar? No?
No, it's not Big Balthazar.
Martin is bisexual and non-binary, using they/them pronouns, and has admitted that it wasn't the show's intention to talk about such politicized topics, but that it just sort of happened that way because these issues affect their lives personally. Critics have unanimously praised Feel Good, with Time magazine writing that it's short, sweet, and funny, with Lucy Kudrow making a delightful appearance as May's mum, and adding that the show does exactly what it says on the tin. Additionally, the Boston Globe called Martin a revelation who is slyly funny, charismatic, restless, and on the edge. And there you have it, our selections for the greatest LGBTQ+ shows ever. As is always the case, we couldn't include every title that fits the bill, but there are plenty more episodes of RT Essentials coming your way, so I'm sure we'll get there soon enough. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Maud Garrett, and don't forget to fearlessly be yourself, because that's how you change the world.